You talking to me?
It's gonna be legendary.
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Ho, 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 ho.
They're here. All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
You're listening to Natalie Lipka and Wayne Frazier on Hollywood Close-Up.
No German cars, no high-end stores or martini bars. Just age-old Pontiacs, a Walmart, and Billy's Liquor Shack. We ain't got no restaurants where Frenchy chefs cook it up. Colonel's Fried Chicken gets it done, yeah, that's where I'm from. On this side of the tracks, you think we're little...
This is Hollywood Close-Up. I'm Natalie Lipka.
And I'm Wayne Frazier.
And we are two actors talking our way to the top. Please check us out at natalieandwayne.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Natalie and Wayne.
Yes. And music this week by the OC9 Music Group. Once again, Bev and Cliff Nelson. Ladies and gentlemen, they are awesome.
Amazing.
Always different music.
New music.
Yeah.
They're on fire. We love them.
And they sent us mail today, which was awesome.
They did.
Very nice, and we appreciate you guys. And
how nice is it to get some snail mail these days? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
But thank you. Thank you so much, Bev and Cliff. And, of course, thank you to everyone for all of your congratulations and all your messages over the past week for our 200th episode last week.
Wow.
We appreciate the support, as always.
Absolutely. What a milestone. That was so much fun. We had a great time.
I want to pat you on the back.
Oh, well, stop that. That was good stuff. Thank you very much. And, Natalie, we had so much fun. Crazy busy week. Here we are. This is the episode 201.
201. We do have a guest today.
Yes, we do have a guest.
Yeah.
He's a filmmaker, writer, producer, director. This guy's amazing. He's from New York City, and he's got the accent, which is awesome. Can't wait to talk to Thomas
Call him
J.
out.
Yeah, Thomas J. Churchill is coming up here shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually we also introduce our engineer, which is Rena Marie, and last week we said our goodbyes to her. She's moving on to some wonderful things. It's so excited to have her doing some great stuff coming up. We can't wait to, and we always hear your voice on TV somewhere. It's everywhere.
That's right. We'll always hear her.
We'll always hear her, yeah. But a great friend of ours, so we miss her. Wherever you are, hi, Rena Marie.
Bittersweet. No, but it's good. It's good. We all got to make changes and do different things and
and positive stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of which, you and I, we got a couple of things to talk about before we get into our social media and our quick inquiry. First of all, before we talk about our show and some changes we're getting ready to make here, you and I both joined the SAG Conservatory this past week, right?
We
a week and a half ago.
Yeah, the LA Conservatory. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure if you're SAG members, you've been getting those emails about joining, and you get to join, and then you get access to certain workshops and special events that are only open to the conservatory members.
Right, which is at the
AFI, right?
AFI, and here in LA.
We did it a couple years ago, and I'll be honest, I kind of don't feel like I really used it to the fullest or took advantage
same here.
Of doing all the workshops.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited. So Wayne and I were like, we're going to get on this. The workshop calendar is available. Let's sign up.
For a nominal fee. And it was just a nominal fee. It was like $45.
$45 for the fall.
So for
it's amazing.
For like 2 months worth of classes each week.
They have classes pretty much every day.
Commercial classes, on camera classes, and it's just kind of like reading. Little workshops just to keep you, sharp.
It's a great opportunity because we should all be in class.
Right.
So it's amazing. And Wayne and I go on there yesterday, and I ended up calling the conservatory twice to figure out how to sign up for classes. And they answered both times and were very helpful.
Very nice. But however...
we are just having the worst time trying to sign up for a class next Tuesday.
We could not get any classes this week because it started this week, so all the classes were filled or booked or whatever. So so the lovely lady told Natalie that you just go on about a week prior to when the class would be. So next week
to the time.
To the time, yeah. So if it's a 10 o'clock class next Tuesday, then we would, this morning at 10 a.m., we would go online and sign up.
Right.
Well.
So I sent Wayne a friendly reminder and just said, hey, don't forget, we're gonna sign up for that class at 10. And then we both go on. And I don't know if it's the internet, the world wide web of
I don't know.
technical difficulties, but we still haven't been able to sign up.
We got nothing.
So we're working on it. But there's plenty of other classes available that's allowing us to sign up. But
no,
the one
actually,
that we
there's only one other one that was allowed to sign up, and I signed that one because I thought that was the one I was going to sign up for.
Oh,
and it
the
was
one
wrong
for that
yeah.
evening, yeah.
So basically, if there's any SAG conservatory people out there, please write in or go online. We're on Facebook Live right now, and kind of maybe help guide us through this, because we really never ask for any other help. We just kind of say, hey, this is what's going on in the business, or we ask other people. So we really want to make sure we get into these classes.
Yeah.
It sounds so simple.
Right. And we are, like I said, we're very grateful.
Yeah.
And it's not, you're barely paying any money to get in for all this wonderful
Which
access.
is probably why it's like that. But,
right. And you also get the opportunity to audition at AFI for some of their films and everything.
Under
So
iActor and all that. So, yeah, send us some feedback on that one.
let us know.
It's crazy. And then we now, to switch it over, we are making some changes to the show here. Granted, this is episode 201, and
I'm excited.
yeah, we're on our way. But as we mentioned last week, and if you didn't tune in, you should, because it was an amazing episode 200. We talked about making some changes to the show, and Natalie, you want to?
Yeah, I'm prepping it for the TV pilot that we want to, we're working on turning it into. So what we've decided is, in order to do all that, and of course stick with their acting careers and the pursuit of that, which is so important to us, we are going to change the format for a while and do one episode a month.
Right.
Of the show. So you're here today at 201, and then we will be back for 202 on Halloween.
On Halloween, which would be a great...
So we're going to do a big Halloween episode. So while all this is going on, yeah, the kids love Halloween and candy.
Yeah.
So while all that's going on, we will be still posting all our past episodes and doing social media. So continue to follow us. And we're, of course, here if you have any questions or anything, or looking for certain episodes, or want to talk about the show.
Yeah, you always write us, you always email us, always let us know what's going on. But yeah, it's very exciting for us, because we only want to make this show stronger, so that anybody, whether you're in the business or not, will be entertained and educated and know what Hollywood Close-Up's all about and what we want to put out there.
Yeah. So we'll be adding some new elements.
Sketches.
And if there's, like we said, if there's anything that you've wanted to hear from with Hollywood Close-Up, you have some suggestions, we're happy to hear about them, and we can answer some of your questions and stuff on the episode in October.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, special episodes. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Emmys, which we already did not really do.
Golden Globes.
We were Golden Globes, yeah. Academy Awards.
Yeah.
See, you'll still see us.
Once a month, at least.
Yeah, until the show's on regular TV. So anyway, that's that. We wanted to explain all that stuff, and
so you knew we weren't done. You weren't losing us.
Right. You're not finished with us. We are still here.
Yeah. So, good stuff, Wayne Fraser.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do some social media.
Let's do it. So, sounds like it's time to start preparing your original content pitch for Facebook's Watch. Weeks ago, Facebook announced the launch of their video platform Watch, which aims to compete with YouTube. I was reading this on socialblade.com. Reports have surfaced that the social media giant is prepared to invest up to $1 billion
with a B.
With a B.
Wow.
On original content over the next year. This put Facebook on par with Apple, which recently committed to investing $1 billion in original series over the next year, in comparison to Netflix, which spends $7 billion on originals in 2018, and Amazon will spend $4.5 billion by the end of this year. So check that out. And social media does some good. I was reading this on USA Today. Mexico City volunteers use social media to direct quake relief. Basically, the volunteers in Mexico City have organized over social media to direct relief efforts to where they're most needed after the most deadly series of earthquakes in 3 decades. And of course, we are, our thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Mexico City dealing with the earthquake, and it became clear there was a rumor that misinformation were causing people to rush to locations to provide help or supplies where none was needed. So they created this Google forum to make sure that they had a database of requests and a database of people with supplies and services they can provide, which they verified and then matched.
Love that, man.
So there was then a tweet from the center on Sunday showing a house full of volunteers working to connect requests to supplies on a real-time verified map. So, there's a lot going on in this world with all the hurricanes and the earthquakes, and you can donate to help with hurricane and earthquake relief and recovery. I was reading about this on Vox.com. I've already posted it on our Facebook and Twitter, Hollywood Close-Up, and it just talks about how you can donate and where to donate and how to research who you want to donate to. So make sure to check that out and help everyone, and we just, want everyone to be safe. And that is my little social media moment.
That was wonderful. Thank you. Now it's time for the not-so-quick and quirky news with Wayne Frazier. I missed that. Delete. Oh, well.
Oh, am I supposed to pick that up?
I think so.
I didn't work on it. Sorry.
All right. Well, anyway.
That's not it.
So, Kingsman: The Golden Circle takes the box office this past weekend. The second film in the Kingsman series ousted It with a $30 million take. And according to Variety.com, the It sequel, let's say it like that, the It sequel is slated for September 6th, 2019 release. The horror film is breaking records and has earned over $475 million so far.
Wow.
Domestic in the world. Yeah, in the world so far. Like 200 and some change, and it's a lot of money.
A little bit.
And finally, the video game strike has ended, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SAG. Yeah, thank goodness, right? Yeah, the Screen Actors Guild and those guys have had a strike going on against 11 different video game companies for things with helping out the voice and money and so finally come to an agreement. So
good deal.
That's awesome. So congrats to that, and that's all I got for Not So Quick and Quirky and Hollywood Close-Up. I'm Wayne Frazier.
And I'm Natalie Lipka. We'll be right back with director Thomas J. Churchill.
How you doing?
Patriots, it's our God-given right. United, we stand. Divided, we pay full price. Looking back on history, it was revolutionary how this whole thing began. Somewhere in a tavern by the light of an oil lantern, a band of rebels wrote down these demands. Hot wings, they should be $1 on Mondays at Patsy's Pub, pints 2 for $1. Taco Tuesdays and tequila at Consuela's Cantina, and margaritas half price. Oh, 407 beers ago, to our founding fathers, so much is owed. We the people celebrate the power of life, liberty, and pursue happy hour. Bar owners and breweries, they didn't give in easily. I tell you, man, it was an all-out war. There was compromise and treaties signed, there John Hancock on the line, and over time the rest of the week was born. Now Wednesdays it's Shotgun Willie's, it's cocktails and Firehouse Chili, $5 cover, all you can eat. Thursday's got a choice to make, delegates deliberate, 1 if by land, 2 if by seafood platter at Krabby Kenny's. Oh, 407 years ago, to our founding fathers, so much is owed. We the people celebrate the power of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happy hour.
All right, welcome back to Hollywood Close-Up. I'm Wayne Frazier.
And I'm Natalie Lipka.
And guys, our guest today is a writer, a producer, a director, an actor, a radio host. He's an East Coaster from New York who dreamt of becoming a filmmaker watching episode, I don't know, something Star Wars or whatever.
What?
Yeah. Small little film. And we're glad he did. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas J. Churchill in the house.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Of course. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How about you guys?
Good.
Doing pretty well. We're enjoying this summer day in fall here in LA.
Well, every day in Los Angeles is like summer.
Right?
Coming from New York.
We did have the 116 degrees a couple weeks ago for a few days. That was no fun.
Yeah.
And fires.
Yeah.
And all sorts of fun stuff like that. But
but no snow.
You get no snow. You really don't get that.
I don't miss the snow.
Like what's the temp in I think it's actually pretty warm in the East Coast right now.
It was warm in Philly. Sunday was like 88 degrees, I think.
It is, they call it, I don't know if you're not allowed to say it anymore, but it's the Indian summer.
Right.
Can you still say that?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
I don't know.
I mean, it's out there. It's Facebook Live, so we did it.
Yeah.
Indian summer.
Do you
Said it twice.
How long have you been out here?
Going on 8 years.
Okay, and how, you like the transition? Are you digging it here?
I love it. I miss the family, of course.
Right.
But this is where the nucleus of the film business is. So you need to go where it breathes, and just live and do everything you need to do in near the nucleus.
Right. And when you get your start in this whole business, you're a lot younger. You did a couple of films and they got actually awards in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Growing up, you were in Brooklyn, I believe.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, Glendale, New York, Ridgewood and Glendale, New York. I did a thing called I call them the neighborhood films. Mm-hmm. They were kind of like my film school. Ended up getting a camera, some friends and family. I think it was age 17. And I made about 5 or 6 movies every year. I made a movie, and I was able to talk my product into local video stores at the time, before they had the big chain, which is no longer around anymore.
Right.
They were like the mom and pop shops.
Starts with the B and ends with the Usters.
Yeah. Those guys. But there were a bunch of local video stores, and I asked if they would be able to put my film amongst all the other films. And they said, let me ask you something. If somebody else made a movie and I put their movie in this store, would you rent it? And I said, yes. He said, why? I said, I would be curious. He says, I'll take 5 copies. That was
I like that pitch.
Yeah.
Nice. So that must have, at a very young age, when you first started making your films, you were asking for what you wanted and asking to get your film. You were basically distributing your own film in a way.
Full-size VHS.
Right.
What's that?
Yeah. They're paperweights now.
Like an old 8-track.
Yeah.
So is that what prepared you and stuck with you as you've become a producer and been needing to ask for things in this industry?
Well, the funny thing is, I always wanted to be an actor. I started off as an actor. There was a film called The Champ that I was a runner-up in. And,
Rick Schroeder, right?
Rick Schroeder, yeah. And it ended up going to him. I was in the top 5 in New York City for this. But I had this bug in me, this acting bug, and I just wanted more. So my parents nurtured it, took me to auditions and music videos and some films that were being shot. I was an extra here and extra there, but I just wanted more. So something came over me, kind of like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. So I convinced my dad to buy me a VHS camera, that was the top of the line at the time.
Oh, yeah.
It came with the VHS camera. My father, at the time it was expensive. He said, you have to get a job, part-time job, and show me that, you can pay this back. He taught me a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So I did, and I wrote a script that I ended up doing for this. It was like this showcase, this New York showcase company I was part of as an actor, and I did a segment of it, and then I decided to take this segment, which was about teenage cops, and make it into a real feature. So I wrote it bigger script.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what I was going to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
It was
You did
called
this all about age 17-ish?
17 years old.
Wow.
So I made this film, and didn't know one thing about it, but I just knew I wanted to act. So I figured if I make this film as me as an actor, I can showcase my talents. But something happened making that movie. I fell in love with writing.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with the producing aspect because putting it all together, it's like making a big cake, getting all the ingredients. And then I fell in love with directing because how can I tell you what I need you to do from this page and get you what I need out of my head? It's basically communicating.
Right.
I mean, some people don't know how to do that. It's just, you go over there, you go. So I taught me valuable lesson about communicating with people and pretty much getting what you need. So when the film was finished, didn't know how to edit, didn't know how to do anything. All right, I got to figure this out. So I got a couple of VHS VCRs, and we did tape to tape. There was wires going every place. Although this is before the all the stuff that we have, all the tools now at our fingertips that come with laptops.
Right.
Hey, edit your own thing.
iMovie, there you go. Bam.
Right. Mm-hmm. So 2 VHS cameras, 2 VHS VCRs, wires going to the stereo, hitting the button for sound, when I need the sound at the right time, hitting the music at the right time, dialogue. It's like, all right, how do I get this music behind them talking?
Yeah.
So splicing wires, it was crazy.
Wow.
Nobody taught me this. It just popped up into my head how to do it. So the movie came out, had this copy. Somebody wanted copies. Now, if I take this copy, which would be the smart thing, and put it in and just run a copy off, you're not going to have that full quality.
You're going to lose a generation.
Right. So I had to do it all again. So every copy that went out was pretty much almost a master.
Oh, so you say an original?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so right before the video store, I was in high school, and people kept showing me this newspaper clipping about a young filmmakers festival.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what that was. It's like, what is that? What is this movie maker? What is this?
Yeah.
Nobody knows this back in the day. So it was like eight people kept coming to me with this newspaper clipping. So I thought that was a sign. In between them coming to me, I'm already running copies off of my new script in like the dean's office when the dean is teaching a class, because my friends were running his office, running the new script.
Do what you got to do.
Running copies, because I'm going to go out and shoot this, not knowing, all right, you shoot it, what do you do with it? So I entered it in this film festival, and out of 1,000 people that joined, that ended, my film won. So that's when I said, you know what? I got to keep doing this. I gotta feed the beast.
Yeah.
I got to feed the beast. So the second one, same thing. Second year, same film festival, won again. Third year, I wasn't eligible. but it was this thing that came on me where it was more than the acting.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the acting, but putting it all together is pretty much the closest for someone to see what's inside my mind is writing and directing and producing your own stuff. Because what you got up there is pretty much the vision of what came out of your head when you were writing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, typing it.
Right.
Right.
With full-size VHS, you get the typewriter.
Incredible. So now I'm going to jump a bunch, but you just finished up a film called Nation's Fire, starring Academy Award nominee Bruce Dern.
Yes.
How amazing. Where are we at with that film at this point?
Well, it's funny. It's like in one breath you're thinking back to the old days of directing your friends and family and old bosses. I worked at a beer distributor, so one of my bosses was like the captain of the police department.
Right. To
go and to direct Academy Award nominee Bruce Dern and Gil Bellows, Emmy Award winner. It was an experience. I absolutely loved making that film. The film right now is in the middle of post. It's
Are you still using the VHS?
the VHS?
With the cords? No? Okay,
No.
just checking.
Actually,
4 million masters. He's incredible. He's so quick at it now.
Stop.
no, we upgraded. We're doing ViewMasters now. You got to just click it quick, add the music quick. Yeah. So there's a lot of ViewMasters we're handing out. Comes with its own little stereo. You just plug it in your ear and you just watch it. Unfortunately, the scenes get stuck.
You just keep taking them out and put the next
Right.
scene.
Yeah, here's the next reel. Quick. It's like that line from Ed Wood. I don't care what kind of sick crap you're into. Just give me 12 reels.
I love it. So what's going? So this film's in post production, and is this going to be mainstream? How are we doing this?
It is a, what's weird is people always said, I'm just going to backtrack a little bit here. My first neighborhood movies were mostly action films, and I did 2 horror films when I was a kid. Then I ended up going into the world of horror. I stayed, did a couple horror films. I did An Emerging Past, Mr. Hush, and Lazarus. And then there was a movie coming up, and a friend of mine was producing it. And he asked me, would I be interested? And I said, sure. But he goes, I don't know, you're a horror guy. I said, what do you mean? I said, I'm a storyteller. I think I can do whatever film it is. If my mind's set to it, I could tell any story, whether it's whatever the genre is. Nah, you're a horror guy. You're going to stick to the horror. And that really bothered me. I lost that gig. And it made me write a film called Checkpoint.
Right.
Which is an action thriller about domestic terrorism, which is its own horror. And I wrote that, ended up getting the funding for that, produced and directed that film as well. And that was the first time I've worked with like all these big names at one time. Goldberg, WWE, Bill Goldberg, William Forsythe, Fred Williamson, Kane Hodder, Chris DeGrati, Tyler Mane. I feel like I'm missing people.
An
Kenny
incredible
Johnson.
cast.
Yeah, but going from like smaller films, like horror films, where it had 1 or 2 or 3 genre characters, to all these mainstream people. So that film put me in a different avenue. And after Checkpoint, now Checkpoint's available everywhere. It's on Netflix and Amazon Prime and DVD, Blu-ray throughout the world. Made me enjoy doing different things. So the next project that came up after Checkpoint was The Rack Pack, which is my first family film with kids and animals. It felt like The Goonies meets Stand By Me.
Yeah.
That's also in post-production, and that stars C. Thomas Howell.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Who I was a pretty big fan of back in the day. And working with him, the first day is a little intimidating, because he just stares at you. And he'll ask you a question, and then he'll just stare at you. But we became pretty good friends, and we enjoyed working with each other. And in fact, he's in town. I'm supposed to meet up with him in the next couple of days.
Oh, tell him we said hey.
Yeah, of course.
Say, Tommy,
Yeah.
they said hi.
Yeah,
If he ever wants to stop by.
I'll pass it on.
Yeah.
And then Nation's Fire came out after that. So it's like you did, the change of course of doing different things. I still want to do horror. I still want to do action. If the film is good and the story is really good and it's compelling, I'm interested.
But basically what this did was this by doing, taking that leap, overcoming the fear of going, okay, I'm not just going to do this particular genre. I'm going to move on. And that's what we try to teach, or at least inform our listeners all the time, is like, don't be afraid to take the chance to do something. And this is opening up different avenues. Because now you're not just, like I said, you're not just doing horror. You did Samurai Cops 2 with Bai Lang was in that.
Right.
She was a guest.
As an actor. I was an actor.
As an actor in that one. And she was a guest on our show a few weeks ago, which was amazing. So, I mean, it's so you got a chance to do acting, but in general, you're able to overcome your fear of going, okay, I'm not just going to do this. I want to expand myself, and it's opened up new avenues. Correct?
Yeah, I'm one of these guys that, depending on the topic, obviously, I don't take no for an answer. if somebody tells me I can't do something, I want to know what makes you think that I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try it.
Right.
You know, let me say it. Hey, you know what? I can't. But I try to live with that word outside of, not even in my vocabulary.
Yeah.
You know, because the more you know, the more you grow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Spielberg, not comparing myself to Spielberg, but his first movie was a TV film.
Yeah.
Sugarland Express.
Yeah.
You know, and then he did a TV movie called
it's the truck one.
I always, is it Drive something? No, it's
we know this.
I can
the
try
van,
and look it up.
the truck.
Our buddy Mike Nichols would know it in a second. He always
God.
listens.
See if he's listening. I think he is listening. He liked our video.
Yeah.
Is it,
We know this movie. It's Spielberg's first. The black, the truck,
yeah,
because I can see it.
it's with Dennis Weaver.
Yeah, from the TV show that he did, which I can't remember now.
I'm Googling.
But
I
Duel.
Duel. There you go. God.
That's it.
Duel.
And then
I Googled Spielberg truck movie.
Yeah, there you go. Then after Duel, Jaws. And he had nobody knew it was going to be a big hit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, during the making of that movie, he just had issues and problems, and the shark didn't work. Movie.
Totally.
You know, people are like, "Oh, he's so brilliant that you don't see the shark through most of the movie because it didn't work."
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Bruce is what they called it, and he had a lot of mechanical difficulties.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, but he's done. Jaws is considered a horror film.
Yeah.
Or a thriller. Sci-fi. He's done family films. He's done.
Yep.
He's done it all. Hitchcock, same thing. But Hitchcock felt good that he wanted just to scare people and be more suspenseful.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my two guys right there that I absolutely made me want to get into this business.
And there's no reason why you can't do both.
No.
And you are doing it.
Or whatever project you decide you want to do next.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's the exciting part. We have to, when people say you can't do something, if
Yeah.
it's something you want to do, then you can do it. And I
I-
think
you
that's
know,
very important.
When I was a kid, what got me, there was a baseball player from the New York Mets, John Stearns, who was the catcher, number 12. He came to, I used to be on a Little League team in St. Matthias baseball, and he came to this award dinner. And at the time, it was around the Star Wars time. You know, and I just watched that movie, and I was like, oh, my God, you know, I want to get into that world.
Mm-hmm.
And John Stearns was teaching everybody about values and goals. And he said this line, you know, if you want something, you set it, you set that goal, and you go for it. And as he's talking to about 100 kids, those last words, he looked dead at me to the right. So I was like, oh, my God, he's talking to me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I just felt from that day forward, I knew what I really wanted.
Kind of like
to
an
do.
epiphany, just hit you. Like,
Yeah.
oh man,
That's amazing. Well, I can't believe the time has gone by so fast already. I hope you'll come back and visit us.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I would love to.
Yeah,
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank
Of course,
you.
thank you,
gosh.
and keep
Thank
us
you.
posted on Nation's Fire and Rack Pack.
Thank you.
Thomas J. Churchill, man.
In the house.
Yeah.
What a wonderful interview, man.
Right?
It was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, everybody at Facebook Land, for tuning into the show once again.
Yep, the network studios, and of course to Bev and Cliff Nelson and the OC9 Music Group. Check them out at oc9musicgroup.com.
Yeah, so please remember that cancer has affected so many of our lives, and we can only help by donating to cancerresearch.org and the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society at lls.org. Let's end this disease once and for all. And catch up on all the episodes of past and present.
Keep catching up, and we will see you in about a month.
Yeah, we'll see you Halloween, the Halloween episode.
For Hollywood Close-Up, I'm Natalie Lipka.
And I'm Wayne Frazier, and until the next one.
Peace.
You've been listening to Hollywood Close-Up with Wayne Frazier and Natalie Lipka. Be sure to visit natalieandwayne.com for past episodes as well as information on future ones. Also, be sure to rate and comment about the show in iTunes. Until next time, bye-bye.
Cowboy. Yippee-yi-yo, yeah. I think the 21st century is overrated, ain't for me.